Andrew Pollack joins us now in studio. Andy, thanks for being here. Always great to see you.
Yeah, and we know that, of course, it's your daughter's birthday this week. You'll be unveiling her stone, so this is a very hard week for you, which makes it mean even more to us that we're here.
Thanks for coming in. So you tell us a little bit about why you decided to jump into the fray on this one. Alyssa Milano spoke in Parkland, and I thought your comments were spot on. As a Broward County resident myself, I think all your comments are spot on. You're blaming exactly the right people, in my opinion, who dropped the ball. But what upset you the most about Alyssa Milano involving herself in the things she said?
It wasn't supposed to be a political event, you know, and then when I saw the video and she started calling out the NRA, and that's when I had to say something, because it's easy for everybody to just blame the NRA or blame guns, but I really know the truth of what happened, and I'm exposing it, you know, and that's the hard part. If I just wanted to more than half the country just blame the guns, that's easy, but it's not the gun in this case. It's a lot of people that didn't do their jobs, incompetence, and those diversionary programs that we speak about.
I want to talk about that because I've gotten to know you, and I have to say, we've had people whose families have been affected by tragedy. They're very emotional. Your family, of course, has been emotional, but you have really taken almost a professorial approach to this. You've dug in, you've looked at the facts, you've looked at the problems, and you and your son Hunter as well. He's been a great asset in all this. Who's to blame here? I know you've said it, but I want you to say it again. Who's to blame?
How much time do you have?
I know, there's a lot, but if you could give us that 30,000-foot high-level view, because it dovetails with what you said to Milano, who would you say are the top three actors here, the ones that are most to blame?
Well, there's a bunch, you know. I'll point them out to you. There's his mental health, his mental illness. He was a screaming red flag.
So who dropped the ball on that specifically?
Psychiatrist, Henderson Health.
Okay.
They dropped the ball, plus the people at the school, his administrators, that
counselors.
knew who he was, the counselors, the guidance counselors at the school, BSO, by never having him arrested.
The Broward Sheriff's Office.
The Broward Sheriff's Office, the FBI. But a lot, he was a really sick kid when you look into it.
Yeah.
And how many red flags that he gave out to everybody, and then how they allowed him to go to school with my daughter and those kids is a crime in itself.
I agree with you.
When you look at it, when you look at everything that this kid did and what he said, and you dissect it, how could you can't just blame that it's the guns or the NRA when no one did their jobs.
One of the most profound things that I heard that illustrated the point that you're making right now is that the kids that I've talked to, that I've come to know through you, and my son is friends with many of them, including your son, and they said that the minute they heard the news, they all knew who did it. That tells you there were a million red flags. There were other children crying out for adults to do their jobs in this situation, and they just didn't.
You know, that's that saying where they say, see something, say something. So these kids, they saw
did.
something. They put reports in writing to administrators about this kid, how scared they were of him, and no one did anything.
Is Tallahassee giving you any indication as to why Robert Runcie, the Broward School Superintendent, and Scott Israel, the Broward County Sheriff, who I always say the buck stops with the man at the top or the woman at the top, they were at the top. Do you have any indication from Tallahassee, anyone else in Florida, why they're still in their jobs?
Well, Runcie's appointed. So Broward had their chance when we had that school board election. And they elected to keep this guy as a superintendent.
Unreal.
Which took a lot out of me, because we really worked.
You worked very hard.
A lot of people
We all saw you.
worked really hard to make a change to these policies that are in place, and they're still in place in Broward. So he's appointed. The sheriff, they're waiting on their FDLE report, which is going to be done by the end of the year.
Is it going to be, because they were told originally the summer, and that one came and went?
Well, I think from the beginning they were aiming for January 1st.
Any indicators if he's going to be removed or nothing?
I don't know anything what's going on with FDLE.
I have to tell you, I've been poking around myself, and we can't get a straight answer from them. I did a couple of media inquiries. I've talked to some sources. They're keeping this one under wraps, but I have to say, I think you're spot on. And how's your family holding up?
We're holding up all right. You know, these elections coming up are so important to my family. You know, with Ron DeSantis and Governor Scott, who they both helped my family a lot, and I can't see two better people for those positions in the state right now as Ron and Governor Scott.
Yeah. And you've implemented, of course, a foundation, and you've made some good positive changes. Tell us about that.
Oh, the changes that went place. Now, every school in the state of Florida has an armed guard right now, or they should have one.
Right.
So that's a change. There'll be more hardening. There's more mental illness. But there's still a lot more we're going to get done in Florida, and talking with Ron DeSantis and Governor Scott, they're ready to move forward, you know,
Great.
with better laws.
Well, we're here for you to help you any way we
Thanks.
can.
Thanks, buddy.
Andy,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Great to see you.